To add tenants, you go to the tenants page by clicking the tenants tab on the left. It opens this page, which is the tenants page. Then you click on add tenant, which is at the top here. Click on it. It opens up this add tenant form. Click on the property, demo building, and then you select one of the units here. One thing you need to note is that you can only add one tenant to a unit. So let's click on that first one. Let's add a name. Let's say John Doe. (07175124883). On this section, you can add the deposit. This is the deposit amount that the tenant paid when they moved in. So the deposit, maybe let's say 10,000 shillings. So these are the mandatory fields. If there are other details that you want to add, you can click on the show more here. It opens up a few more fields which you can add. For example, the email, optional, some notes. If there are some notes you want to append to this tenant, the date that they moved in, you can enter it there. The move out date, you can enter it there. And then if there is a lease agreement, you can upload it here. And then once you have all that, you can click on add tenant. So the tenant has been added successfully. So let's add another tenant. You see that it already pre-fills the property. So let's select the second unit, house number 2. Then let's add someone by the name James Mwangi. Maybe and then the deposit 12,000 maybe. As we've said, the rest of these fields are optional. You can leave them blank. Add the tenant. Let's add a third tenant to the third unit, house number 3. Then we can give him the name Ian Rono. Deposit, let's say they paid a deposit of 13,000 when they moved in. We can also give them an email. Maybe let's say Ian Rono 12. Under the notes, let's give him notes. Let's say, for example, maybe stays with brother, or any other kind of note you might want to append to this particular tenant. Let's add the tenant. So to view the tenants, you can click the back button here, or you can also just clicking on the tenants tab here. The page that shows up will be able to give you the list of tenants. You have the tenant's name here, the building, the unit, phone number, the deposit they paid, the balance column, and the account number that was generated for them automatically by the system. You can also see some of the actions that are you can perform on a certain tenant. You can edit the details of the tenant. You can send a message to them directly. You can download a report for that tenant. That's the financial report. You can also shift the tenant to a different unit. You can archive a tenant. Archiving a tenant is deleting a tenant. So on this page, you can be able to see the balance column here. This column shows you the balances that the tenants will have. Of course, because we have just entered these details right now, you'll find that the balances are still 0. As we move on, we're going to add some balances, and then you can see them being shown here.